In My Friendly Neighborhood, players embark on a captivating journey as they explore the fall of the show into the hands of insane puppets. The story follows protagonist Gordon through an abandoned TV studio, unveiling the show's history, cancellation, and the studio's closure through scattered notes and newspaper articles. Originally named Ricky with Friends, the show was created by Al Gertzwald for public access television, aiming to bring joy and life lessons to children. It gained immense popularity and was eventually acquired by the City Network Broadcasting Group. Set in a fictional universe where puppets coexist with humans, the mascots in the show are living beings, innocent yet easily influenced. The narrative also reveals a parallel fictional war to the north and events within the city surrounding the studio, adding depth to the enthralling storyline. Despite years of success, the downfall of My Friendly Neighborhood began with a prolonged war on the northern continent, reminiscent of the televised Vietnam War, which reshaped TV content towards grittier themes, leaving behind innocent family-friendly shows. By the early 1980s, an economic downturn and a takeover by Nebuzaradan Enterprises led the City Network Broadcasting Group to push for a change in MFN's tone to align with audience preferences, resulting in a darker and more hostile city environment. Struggling to adapt to the pessimistic broadcasting trend, the show faced a scandal involving one puppet attacking a human actor, leading to Richie Bromley's departure and the eventual cancellation of My Friendly Neighborhood on July 15, 1983. With the show's end, the city lost its beacon of light, submerging into darkness, setting the stage for the unfolding tale. On July 8, 1993, after almost a decade of emptiness, the studio unexpectedly starts broadcasting My Friendly Neighborhood episodes over the nightly news. Gordon O'Brien, a local repairman with authority issues and job dissatisfaction, is tasked with turning off the antenna atop the City Network Broadcasting Group hotel. Disgruntled, and on his final warning, disabling the antenna becomes a daunting final task for him. Gordon enters the hotel lobby and heads for the elevator to reach the roof, only to find the door jammed with a sticky substance. Seeking help, he calls the reception desk, but instead of a human, he meets Ricky, a sock puppet and main star of the MFN show. Ricky passionately tries to convince Gordon not to shut down the broadcast, conjuring a key card before disappearing. With the key card in hand, Gordon proceeds to stage 4, where he encounters the puppet stars of My Friendly Neighborhood: Norman, Junebug, Leonard, Liliana, and George. These puppets, isolated and deprived of human interaction, have become crazy, endlessly reciting jumbled lines from the show. The story reveals that, like humans, constant interaction is vital for their proper functioning, and their excited attacks are merely attempts at interaction. In Richie Bromley's dressing room, Gordon finds the stenographer gun, designed by inventor Hank for security and special effects, which effectively subdues the puppets. Throughout his adventure, Gordon learns about the unintended consequences of using these weapons on the puppets. Ricky tries unsuccessfully to take the gun from Gordon during their confrontation. After obtaining a circular key, Gordon gains access to the old city set, where he encounters a giant bird mascot named Pearl. Pearl, lacking eyes, wanders aimlessly, posing a danger to others as she inadvertently tramples them. Gordon discovers a pair of glasses and places them on Pearl's beak, restoring her vision. This act calms her nerves, and for the first time in years, she sees her reflection in a mirror, freed from darkness. Moving forward, Gordon enters the sewers where grumpy handyman Ray resides. Ray's negligence resulted in clogged sewers and overflowing trash. As a fellow repairman, Gordon resolves the sewer issue by fixing the pump valve, soothing Ray's anger, and returning him to his friendly self. With Ray now at peace, Gordon continues his exploration, finding bolt cutters that open a previously locked stairwell leading to offices above. Here, he discovers the Novelist, a shotgun that shoots book pages at threatening puppets. The offices present various puzzles as he searches for an alternate route to the antenna. In the office, Gordon encounters new puppets. The first group consists of freehand puppets, gleefully leaping between floors and walls while wailing at him in high-pitched voices. They try to latch onto him, posing a playful threat. The second and more dangerous menace is Goblet, a giant frog-like puppet who rushes from room to room, demolishing everything in her path like an enormous felt wrecking ball. Gordon finds a projection room and discovers that the puppets have been watching various movies, influencing their behavior. For instance, when Goblet watches a war documentary, she becomes depressed and sorrowful. It becomes evident that the puppets' exposure to different media has changed their perception of reality, introducing themes of loss, violence, and hatred. Moving to the theater, Gordon consoles Goblet, sharing his own experience of losing a part of himself during the war. Watching a movie with her reminds him of the joy he felt as a child, discovering the power of light amid darkness. This calms Goblet, replacing her fury with peaceful acceptance. It becomes clear that these puppets merely need a human touch to remind them of their true nature and humanity. After locating a key that unlocks the door to the office building, Gordon is ambushed by a giant puppet known as Curtain Call. Using his newfound weapon, a hand grenade that fires out letters dubbed the Punctuation, he manages to defeat the ferocious fabric puppet. With Curtain Call defeated, Gordon exits the offices and gains access to the park with a set of newly acquired keys. As he navigates the maze-like park, he encounters Ricky once again, who urges him not to shut down the antenna and questions his violent attitude towards the puppets. Gordon's past experiences as a soldier during wartime have left him haunted and angry. On the other side of the park, he discovers a garden area with a greenhouse containing a mixing machine to create a solvent to dissolve the jam blocking the elevator to the antenna. To do so, Gordon must backtrack through various areas of the studio to find 3 different compounds. Along the way, he faces a group of ferocious puppet dogs. By locating 2 halves of a medallion, he gains access to an aviary, and in the courtyard, he finds a bag of kibble. Gordon returns to the greenhouse and calms the puppets by feeding them, turning them into placid pets. After gathering the compounds and mixing the solvent, he heads back to the hotel lobby to unjam the elevator door. Riding the elevator up, Gordon arrives at the aptly named cardboard penthouse, with walls and floors made from crayon-covered cards. Solving a jigsaw puzzle, he restores light to a musical stage and meets Moraine, a grouchy, out-of-tune piano-playing puppet. Gordon plays a duet with him, calming the final puppet in need and bringing peace and harmony to the show's protagonists. With all the puppets now calm, he rides a platform to the roof and climbs the antenna to shut down the broadcast. Ricky reappears, urging him to reconsider, explaining the puppet's desire to bring hope and light to the city and its children. However, Gordon ignores the plea and shuts off the broadcast, inadvertently causing a bolt of lightning to strike the antenna, sending him hurtling into the depths of the abandoned set beneath the studio. There, he encounters deranged and vengeful puppets who have been twisted by watching violent shows. Ricky calls Gordon and reveals that the puppets' exposure to such media led them down a dark path. Armed with a flashlight, Gordon navigates through the old set, narrowly escaping bad puppets and confronting the horrifying amalgamation of various puppet parts fused together. He fights and eventually takes it down. After returning to the surface, Gordon encounters Ricky outside the hotel. Beyond the 3 main endings, there's a secret 4th ending that can be unlocked by climbing back into Gordon's repair van and leaving the job unfinished. Ricky presents Gordon with a choice: to stay and help the puppets bring back My Friendly Neighborhood to television screens, or to decline and walk away. Turning down Ricky leads to a bad ending where the show fades from memory, and Gordon lives a lonely and unfulfilling existence. If he accepts Ricky's offer but hasn't helped all the puppets, a neutral ending occurs, where the show succeeds. But Gordon eventually moves on with regrets, feeling purposeless. However, the good ending is achieved by staying at the studio and assisting all 5 puppets, restoring hope to the city and finding his place in society.
I helped the neighbors get a slot on public access TV. It was late night on weekdays. I don't think anyone watched it. Within a couple of weeks, though, word was starting to get out. Some people loved the show, some people hated it. That caught the network's attention, and by the end of the year, we had 3 channels wanting to sign for a whole season. Of course, after my boss found out I was involved, I got fired. But somehow, I feel a little hopeful about it. It's hard to describe. It's like you've been lost in a tunnel until suddenly a voice calls your name. And you turn around and you see the rising sun. And it's so bright, maybe it hurts a little to look at. But you don't care, because it's leading you home.
And with that, the video concludes, offering a look at the captivating story and endings of My Friendly Neighborhood. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.